Oh, so this is like a little secret that no one's gonna know unless they watch the of the video. You gotta
Mm.
watch the podcast the whole way through to
Yeah,
get this
bro.
juicy stuff.
Exactly, bro. Unless they watch all the way to the end.
Kia ora koutou katoa. Welcome back to Tides Talk, the changing tides in all of our lives, the ups and the downs, the highs and the lows. It's so good to be back in front of you again. So good with my
Yeah.
co-host, my bro host.
Woo!
Yeah,
We're
buddy.
on,
Yeah,
boy.
yeah. We're coming to you all the way from Gold Coast, Australia, same place we always do. But today we have a special guest from across the globe. Well, nearly
Mm.
about halfway
Mm.
between here and
Bit of a
America.
swim, that one.
I know, a bit of
Yeah.
a swim, all right.
Yeah.
And we have been doing a lot of things in the pipeline, a lot of exciting things. We have a DNA kit giveaway. As you're watching this, it's probably
Mm.
already being drawn. But if you didn't win, we
Mm.
do have an affiliate deal with MyHeritage. I'll drop the link in the description below and you can check it out and purchase one. You get a mean discount as well. And you support the channel and you also get free shipping. So I'm just full of good deals.
Yeah,
So it's
that's
just like
cool.
good deals all
It's
around,
just
baby. You
it's a
know,
win-win, really.
yeah,
Yeah. That's
can't go
cool.
wrong with that, eh?
Nah.
And we have also launching our merch, the grand
Ooh.
launch
What
of
is it? What is the merch? Tell me a bit
merch.
about it.
Merchandise, ding, ding,
Oh.
ding, ding. We got some sound effects going on too. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Come on now. Yeah. I don't even know if you guys could hear that, but
Hopefully it stops,
yeah.
eh?
Oh,
Let's just
yeah.
hope it stops.
We've got a sound desk mixing all the tunes down here. Is it gonna stop?
Oh, what did you
Yeah.
do? Hold on, hold on.
Yeah. We gotta.
Oh, yeah, it stopped.
Oh yeah,
Thank
sweet.
goodness for that.
Yeah, thank
Oh,
goodness.
man.
But yeah, our launch is our merchandise. If you haven't noticed,
Oh, yeah, I forgot I'm wearing a shirt too.
so we got like crew necks. This is a long sleeve shirt, mugs, obviously, water bottles, tote bags, heaps of random things. We will, I guess, we'll show you. Like,
Mm,
we have it on our Instagram as well. So
mm. We're gonna do a fashion show too, so
yeah,
stay tuned for that.
me and Chanda were gonna model.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. So keep an eye out for that one.
yeah, that'll be exclusive content though, so you gotta subscribe for that.
Yeah. So stay tuned. We've been working
Mm.
very hard. And
Oh,
without further ado, I would like to welcome our podcast guest. He's from Hawaii. He's an internationally renowned MMA and Muay Thai coach. He's also studying a Master's of Medicine to be a PA, which is an incredible thing. He's done lots of good things around the world and had a very interesting upbringing. So he's going to share it all, and you're going to get to hear it first from the doctor himself. So
ooh.
I'd just like to welcome, without further ado, let's get on to the show. Kamanu, how are you, buddy?
Yo, Kahi.
Whoop, whoop,
Man,
whoop.
bro. Yo, I missed you, bro. I missed you, man. It's
Oh,
been a
thank you,
while
bro. I
since
missed you too.
yeah, it's been a while since we've been able to just like sit down and talk. You know what I mean?
I know. I know. And it feels like we're just sitting down and talking now, even though you're in Hawaii and I'm on the Gold Coast. Yeah.
Mm,
Still
Yeah,
feels like you're right
bro. The
next to me,
Gold
just like
Coast.
this time.
yeah, pretty
Yeah,
much.
bro. The Gold Coast. Yo, does your cuz live in Goldie too?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I live like
Yeah,
10 minutes up the road.
bro.
Yeah.
I gotta come check you guys out. That's a neat city, man. Like I loved my time in Gold Coast.
It's
That
a
was a cool place.
it's a cool little place, eh? Surf
It's
capital of the
cool,
world.
bro. Yes, bro. And like, man, when we were there in August with all those vacationers, bro, like you get people from all over Australia just like magnetized towards Goldie during those months, right? Those summer months.
Yeah. It's just a place to be.
Yeah.
I wouldn't live anywhere else. But yeah, did you want to share your socials or anything where people can check you out, where they can find you online?
Yeah, but right now it's really just Instagram. It's at Kamanu Thai, my name, and then just Thai after it. And I'm also on Snapchat. I mean, Kamanu, if you want to add me there.
That's cool.
Uh,
Anyway, I guess we can like dive into a little bit, eh? Dive
Mm.
into some
yeah, bro.
questions. People can get to know you.
Yeah,
Have a little bit of fun. Yeah,
yeah.
we're gonna
Let's
have
do
some
it.
interesting conversations. Kamanu's got a very good. I don't know
Oh,
background, interesting background. And he's
Yeah,
achieved
you
a
should
lot.
write a book, I reckon.
Yeah,
bro. It's funny. It's funny you mentioned that. So, I don't know at what point my life will be relevant enough to do the memoir thing, but
Mm.
I've actually started to like dial back on kind of principal concepts and like universal learnings that I was exposed to through different families that I lived with
Yeah.
throughout my very dysfunctional developmental childhood, right? And so living in these different families and getting exposed to a lot of different religions, different types of people, I was able to learn certain things at an early age that ended up carrying me pretty far. And so, like, when I interact with like at-risk patient populations, like now as a healthcare provider, or when I'll take my time and work with like lesser privileged communities, like I did in Haiti or when I was doing in Florida, and I've even started to dabble here in Hawaii a little bit with it. It's something that I've been able to identify, man. It's really like it's not something mystical. It's not like hard or like profound knowledge. It's just like people just don't understand how to leverage certain tools that we have in society, right?
Yeah.
Where you can find success. And so that, like, being the foundational concept that essentially anyone can apply these teachings is kind of what I've started to write on. Like, I just want to write a very simplified, like, high school kind of digestible level material that'll just give people useful ways of kind of approaching life that I
Mm.
found success with.
not too
So yeah, that's
intellectual,
definitely
eh?
something that's
Like you don't
yeah,
want
that's
your
something
book
that's
to be too intellectual. Oh yeah,
no,
wait,
bro. I
I
don't
only
want
say that because
to
like I find like
complicate.
people when they write inspirational books, they'll write them like really intellectual, which is cool because that's
Mm,
probably for the audience they're going for. But if you're going for like a younger
mm,
audience who have come from rough backgrounds, maybe didn't even go to school growing up,
Mm.
like you
Yeah.
exactly.
probably want to write it for that level. Like,
Mm.
Exactly. That's
mm,
what I'm saying. It's got to be digestible for anybody,
Mm.
you
I
know?
like it. Well, if it means anything, I would definitely buy your book.
Yeah, I'd buy that. That sounds
Fuck
cool.
yeah.
Oh yeah,
Hell
I
yeah.
would, and I would even advertise it
Yeah,
on the
bro.
pod for you, like for like
Yeah, bro.
25% commission for all your sales.
Oh, that's pretty
Nah,
good.
I'm
Goddamn.
joking.
Listen. You're the one that called it out, so I'll probably hit you up, bro. We'll figure out a book deal or something down the line.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, mate. That's
um,
how we all grow. We collaborate. We work
Mm.
together. Amen. Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, bro. Maybe you can be responsible for like the Australian market launch of it, and then
Yeah.
that's when you take the
I got
that.
you,
That'd be
bro.
pretty
I
sick.
got you. Yeah, we got you.
Yeah,
Yeah, we
Tides
got you,
Talk
man.
yeah.
got
Sweet.
you. The whole
Tides
Fano
hot,
house you.
bro.
Nah.
Yeah, I love fucking bro. I love your guys' culture out there, man. I met a lot of really good people in Australia. I like Australia a lot. It's a cool country. You guys are a lot less angry than Americans, in my opinion, bro.
Yeah.
I feel like
Yeah.
yeah, we
Yep.
probably are. I seen a thing on TikTok or maybe Instagram and it was about these people going to the airport like oh no, it was an American actually. And they came to the
Mm,
Australian airport and the New Zealand airport and they're like
mm,
it's so quiet. Like
Yeah, I
everyone
saw
just
that.
stands in line and no one talks. Everyone's just so quiet. Whereas like in America you go there and Americans must just be really loud. I don't know. I've never personally been there, but apparently she's like all the airports in America are just
Yeah.
crazy, and then they come over here and it's just quiet. And I noticed I went to a big game, like NRL was huge in Australia, and I went to like a semi
mhm.
final, and we are surrounded, but there's like 50,000 people there, and it's still at times
Yeah.
quiet, and I'm like, wow, like
Yeah.
how can 50,000 people
Different
be quiet?
sports, a different culture over in
Yeah, we
America.
must have a different
Yeah.
culture. Like if you go to Britain, they're just singing. They love
Mm.
their songs.
Yeah.
Like
Chance.
Yeah.
their chants and things. They're
Yeah.
always singing. Loud mother
Uh,
effers. No, I'm joking. No.
loud. Pommies. That's what you guys call them, right? Is pommies?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Is that
Pommies.
what I said?
No, you didn't say that.
Oh, okay, cool. Because I do refer to them
Jay
as
taught
that
me.
Yeah.
sometimes.
Yeah, Jay used to talk about all the people from UK as pommies, and I was like, "What does that even mean, bro? I never heard that one
Yeah.
before." So I keep it
Yeah,
now.
I don't know where that came from. It's
Dunno.
interesting because we all speak English, but we all got different
Yeah.
slang.
Mm.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, bro. Like for sure, different slang.
yeah, it's cool.
Yeah. Have either of you been to Hawaii yet?
No,
Nah, my dad
no.
has. My dad has. He loved it there. I'd love to go there too.
Yeah.
My brother
Yeah, bro.
has. Oh, they have really
Okay.
good beaches. I've heard.
Yeah,
Don't
bro. The beaches here are great. The food's good. There's like some really nice places to see and whatnot. It definitely like way too expensive. It's
Mm.
unreasonably expensive,
Yeah.
but it's worth it for a vacation.
Yeah.
What island are you on?
I'm on Oahu. That's the main one with Honolulu and all that.
Yeah.
Oh wow. Does
Yeah.
that have the big
So
volcano?
no, that's Big Island. That's Kona and Hilo. That's where I was January to March.
Mm.
Oh wow. So how many islands are there?
Eight Hawaiian islands.
And
Oh wow.
but everyone mainly lives on your one that you're on now.
Oahu. Oh,
The main ones with inhabitants are like Oahu, mine, Big Island, Maui, Kauai. You got
Oh,
some people over Lanai. You got some people on yeah, those are like the main ones. You got some people on Molokai too. But
mm.
now we're talking like Molokai is like, man, you probably got like 200 residents on that whole island. You know what I'm saying? That
Yeah.
that's how
That sounds cool.
skinny. Like there's like one store. There's like one store and one hospital. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's one of them places.
that's pretty cool though. So what are the
Yeah.
majority of tourists then in Hawaii? Americans?
Yeah, bro, but honestly, because of what the allure of Hollywood has done with Hawaii, like you really see everybody out here nowadays. Like
Mm.
you got tons of Americans. Like that's off rip. What you're gonna see is you're gonna see heavy Caucasian American populations, and we call those. We have a term here. It's haole.
Yeah, I've
So
heard
like when
that
you guys,
term before.
yeah, see, so you'll hear like a form of English out here that like you're probably not accustomed to, but
Yeah.
like so locals will speak a lot of pidgin and like haole. In the Olelo Hawaii Hawaiian language, like I'd have to Google it to like um be like precise and exact in its translation. But ha is like the breath of life,
Yeah.
and aole means like no or like to not have. So haole means like you have no spirit, like no soul, like you have
Mm.
no you get what I'm saying to your person.
Yeah.
And that's what the Hawaiians would call white people when they were trying to come and take all their shit back in the day.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
And so yeah,
Yeah.
and so
That's quite similar
and so
to the Māori word for I don't know the exact meaning of it, but the word is Pākehā. It's sort of sometimes used in the similar context as haole. But
haole.
it's ha means breath as well, so Pākehā. And some people say that it means person with white skin. Some like there's a few different meanings of it that float around, but
Yeah.
it's yeah, I think it's just anyone who's not Māori, pretty much.
Yeah.
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 It's
So look at
interesting
that
because
then. So like,
you look native Hawaiian, but
yeah,
where are you from?
yeah, bro. Everyone thinks I'm fucking native Hawaiian, bro. It's pretty funny because like I was born and raised here, and bro, my middle name is a long Hawaiian middle name. Like if you're from Hawaii and you see my middle name, you're like, all right, that kid's definitely Hawaiian. Like my middle name is Kamanu Akumakani Ahe Ahe. That means bird that flies with the gentle breeze.
Sorry, can
Oh,
you say that again?
that makes sense.
Yeah, yeah. My whole middle name is Kamanu Akamakani Ahe Ahe, and that means bird that flies with the gentle breeze. And Kamanu is like bird in Hawaiian.
Yeah, that's the same in
And
Māori.
so,
Wow, that's
Yeah,
cool.
because yeah, ka manu. Well, manu
oh,
is
that's
bird
dope,
in Māori
dude.
as well.
Kamanu is bird in Maori
Well,
too.
manu, the word manu, but then ka
Manu,
is
yeah,
like
that's
the start of the sentence. So that's like your name is pretty much a sentence.
wow.
Yeah.
That's cr-
Well, actually,
that's crazy.
I've been watching this. There's a documentary and it's about the Polynesia. Well, it's starting from New Zealand and working backwards and going through back all the islands and sort of tracing the origins of where the Polynesians
Mm.
come to. And he goes to Hawaii, and a lot of the words are the same. And he goes all around the Pacific and just looks at all the traditions. And yeah, we're all pretty much related. Like we
I
just
was gonna say,
yeah
I feel like back in the day, Polynesians were just voyagers that were going as wayfinders to different Pacific islands, right?
yeah
Like
Yeah.
a lot of us have similar cultures and similar language.
yeah
Yeah, we do.
yeah
Oh, and
traditions as well. Like yeah
but anyway,
Uh,
yeah.
let's
Anyway,
get into you, bro. That was a beautiful intro. I'm so glad to have you on the show. Yeah, but
yeah,
let's dive in. Let's dive in deep, G.
throw it back to the
yeah,
start, eh?
dude, let's do
Yeah,
it.
yeah. So, can you tell us about your early years and some of the unique challenges, I guess, you faced growing up?
Oh, bro. All right. Yeah, so we kind of started off on like it's like a good introduction into this pathway. Man, my blood, bro, I have a lot of indigenous blood from places that aren't Hawaiian,
Mm,
right? So like a lot of my early childhood, now that I've become older and processed a lot of the things I experienced, and now that I have the perspective of a healthcare provider, I've come to see how, a lot of the forthcomings and shortcomings really of like my childhood were essentially a product of like generational dysfunction secondary to the ancestry I was born to,
mm,
right? And so my father's bloodline, we've got like 34% Aztec blood from my father's side. They're straight from Mexico,
yeah,
my
I can
father's
see that.
parents, and they come from
That's
like an
cool.
Aztec tribe out there in Guadalajara. And so that's where my dad's people are from. And there's like some Spaniard blood and some like French or whatever mixed in on that side. And then my mom's side, they got like Native American, African American, and Korean. And
Wow.
so, you know, yeah, these my both of my parents came from like extremely dysfunctional families, right? With these like ethnic minority backgrounds. I
Mm,
hate to say it like that, but
yeah,
like I'm a fucking ethnic minority. I can talk like this. It's true,
yeah,
like so they my dad comes from this poor ass Mexican family, bro. They're all fucking uneducated. Like they don't know what they're doing in an American society. You know what I
mm,
mean? So they're like floundering in fucking LA, bro, in Whittier, just like a crazy ass neighborhood of Mexicans and gangbangers, a bunch of crazy shit.
Oh,
And so, yeah, bro, my dad, he had a big family of brothers and sisters. It was so bad when my dad was growing up, all right? In his hometown of Whittier. My dad vividly tells me stories, dude, where like he remembers my uncles like being in a gang Southside Whittier. And like he told me that he remembered a day where his oldest brother, Abel, like fucking went and killed somebody, bro.
oh,
Like straight
oh,
up.
oh, this is Cain and Abel. No, no,
yeah.
Yeah, yes, bro, exactly. My grandma cursed him, giving him that name, bro.
yeah,
And
that's
you know what I mean?
oh,
But like, my dad tells the story where like, he wakes up one day, Abel's like on PCP or something, and then he goes and he leaves and he goes to some enemy gang territory and shot some dude up and killed him. And my uncle Abel, my dad's side of the family, he serves his term, and when my dad's like 18, 19 years old and his oldest brother gets out for murder, they deport him back to Mexico. And
mm,
so my dad loses his brother and like never sees him again ever. And so this is the type of
Oh,
family and the psychology that my father grew up in.
yeah,
You get what I'm saying? And like
yeah,
his oldest brother Abel was just one of multiple gang members. There was also another brother of my father's that was heavy into gang behavior throughout most of my dad's life. And so my dad's growing up in this tumultuous environment, right?
mm,
And there's a lot of like psychological dysfunction that starts to come. Obviously, you get things like bipolar, mania, depression, all these types of mental health diagnoses, right? That these
yeah.
ethnic minorities they ignore. I don't know how else to say it, bro. Like
yeah,
they have bad experiences, right? And then they just try to look the other way and pretend like their mind isn't really suffering, you know?
yeah,
Yeah.
And so that was the case for my father, and then he meets my mom. And
So where did
my
they meet? In
mother,
Hawaii?
bro, they met in California in LA. I don't even
Oh.
know how the fuck that happened. It was like a random trip. Yeah. And then like they like link up in LA, and it was just the worst possible thing they could have ever done. Like seriously, bro. Like
Oh, it
I
can't be that bad
understand
because
that
of you, bro.
bro, that's what I'm saying though. Like I make sure I tell people this, like, bro, straight up, I'm so thankful I'm here. I'm thankful for my life and all that shit. But fuck me, bro. Like those two did not belong near each other. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Just
yeah,
explosive.
100.
Just explosive, bro. It's like, whoa.
Yeah.
That's
You know?
crazy.
And so my mom now, my mom's side of the family, bro, they come from fucking when the Korean War happened. My family was in North Korea, and my great grandma takes my mom, who's a baby at the time, like 4 or 5 years old, and takes my mom and her daughters, who are my grandmas, and fucking puts silk blankets over everyone. There's this story that we were all told since we were fucking kids, me and all my cousins. Grandmas would tell us this story. My grandmas are in their 20s. My mom's like fucking 4 years old. And my great grandma's like the matriarch of the
Mm.
family. And they're trying to migrate from North Korea over the South Korean border. And they have to wrap
Was
these
this
silk
before
blankets
the
over
war?
each other. Bro, this is as the war's happening.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yes,
gee.
bro. Like the war was actively going down. Like it was happening. And they're like, all right, North Korea is about to become a thing and we don't want to get trapped here. So they needed to leave. So they fucking left to South Korea, bro. But when they did that, they had to wrap these silk blankets over each other and like walk in line to keep the silk blankets over them, uh, to like get to some territory where they could escape down into like a tunnel and into South Korea or something. And my mom tells me that like she used to tell me when I was a kid, bro, like she remembers when they took the silk blankets off when they entered like South Korea, or it was my grandmas that told me that my mom used to tell them as a baby, like she remembers seeing bullets or something. But long story short, they take off these blankets and there's fucking bullets intertwined in all the silk. Like they knew somehow that if they wrapped enough silk blankets over each other, some Korean shit, that it would stop these bullets that were fucking going crossfire by them.
Wow.
Holy.
And so yes, bro. And so my mom, right? You don't experience something like that and end up normal. You know
No.
what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
and so my mom goes through that, and then her mother ends up contracting hepatitis B from a Marine, and her mom ends up dying by the time my mom's like 6 or 7 in America. And so my mom's
Yeah.
raised by these hardcore Korean ladies who don't speak any English, and she's the only one that speaks English. And it becomes this whole dynamic of like just
Mhm.
psychological
So,
dysfunction.
Yeah.
And
so
you
did
cut
she
to
get adopted out from Korea, like from
nah,
South Korea?
they her mom and my other grandmas had my mother, and they all came together. But shortly after, my mom's mom died in
Mm.
Hawaii. Yeah, a
Oh,
Oh.
few years
okay.
Oh,
later.
so they escaped
Yeah,
from North Korea to South Korea and then to Hawaii.
yeah, yeah,
Holy.
yep.
Crazy.
Yeah, and they hung out in South Korea for a few years. And my great grandma was smart. She knew that Marines were her way in, so she had all her daughters marry Marines, bro, and have kids with them. And that's how everyone got into fucking Hawaii.
Oh,
Oh.
yeah.
Jeez.
Yes, bro.
What
Thanks,
a
grandma.
she is the matriarch of the whānau, looking after her
Yeah, bro.
offspring. You marry this
Yes,
Marine.
bro. Yes, bro. It was literally like that, bro.
Oh, that's wicked. But, oh, that's crazy, bro. What about you? What about you growing up? Like, because
Yeah.
that's
So
interesting. You've had 2 parents obviously been through a lot of trauma, and then
yes.
they come into your life as your parent with all this trauma. Yeah. So, how
That
did you turn out?
yeah, that equation, eh? It's like
Yeah. Trauma plus trauma equals normally more trauma, but you seem alright. So, I'd love to hear how you went.
Ha ha. And you see, this is the atomic bomb that happened. Is I was born, okay, and it fucking blew up, bro. I don't know how else to put it. Like, like I laugh about it now because I go to tons of therapy. I get all the help I need, but bro, like, I remember like being 3 years old, and I'm fucking watching Little Mermaid, bro. This is a memory implanted in my mind. I'm watching Little fucking Mermaid at like 3 or 4 years old, and my parents are fucking going at it, bro. Like two animals in the kitchen. Like my fucking dad like goes and like puts his hand around my mom's throat, and my mom just fucking three pieces and just bing, 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 and fucking blows his whole nose up. And
Oh,
he's
Wow.
leaking all over the floor, bro. And he's like, fuck, daddy. He's like screaming. And I'm just like staring, watching all this like vividly as a baby.
Mm,
And then like I'm looking back at Little Mermaid, just like, oh, this is life, this is regular.
mm,
yeah.
yeah.
Well, I
Wow.
suppose you wouldn't
you
know
know?
anything else.
No.
Hey,
Bro, yes, exactly. Like it didn't even really affect me. I just remember watching and be like, oh, all right, I guess it's life, just going on with Little Mermaid.
how many
And so
siblings did you have?
I have one sibling. He's 4 years younger than me.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Um, yeah, and when he came around too, by the time he came around, my parents had already been long gone from each other. He was like the baby that they tried to like make it work with, but my dad was already in California, my mom was living in Hawaii when that happened.
Mm,
So they were already like not
Oh,
even
yeah.
in the same state. You know what I
yeah,
mean? And my mom's over here having my little brother.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
yeah,
it was one of those
Yeah.
relationships, man. Like it was one of those dysfunctional ethnic minority relationships of poverty. I hate to say it like
Yeah.
that, but that's what it was. You
So,
know what I mean?
what do you reckon, was the difference between you and your brother, or that you can look back now and see? Because he didn't have that experience of your mum and your dad. So
Yeah.
how are you 2 different? In what way?
Oh, bro. That poor kid, man. Dude, honestly, so he's 4 years younger than me. I haven't talked to the kid in years now, bro. His mind's not right.
Yeah.
Unfortunately. We both, because of the things that we had experienced in the household, we both dived really heavily into drug use, like in our early years, and both ended up in psych wards. I ended up in jail for it. And I was in psych wards from probably let's see, the first time it was all 20, it's like 20 to 21. No, it all happened when I was 20 years old. So like around the age of like 17, started using a lot of drugs heavily. It was mostly party drugs, like a lot of blow, acid, shrooms, all that type of stuff. And then um by the time I was 20 is when I'd gotten locked up for 4 months for just kind of going off the rails when I was really high one time on acid. And I ended up in psych wards at that time, and then fucking like 2 years later, bro, my little brother goes and does the same thing. But like
Mm,
he's 16 now, and
yeah.
so he did it from like 16 to 19. Just kept fucking getting spun out and doing too much drugs and going to psych wards, and his mind just never came back the way mine did.
Yeah.
So I'm fucking blessed, like
Mm,
honestly, and I know I'm blessed because by some miracle, I had the resilience to like endure my environment and act out all this trauma, right, that was cast upon me from my ancestry, and still come out the other end okay. And I
yeah.
thank God for that every day.
An
mm,
I thank
incredible
God
story.
for that.
So were you raised in Hawaii while when like growing up, like in your childhood years, with your
Huh.
brother and your mum? Or
Yeah, so I spent like up until 15 years old. Well, really up until like 13, 14. I left Hawaii at 15, but by the time I was 13, bro, like my mom was a single mom in the most expensive state in America.
mm,
And she's obviously living in poverty. And so she's stressed out. She doesn't see a way out. And I look like my dad, and he looks like her. So, it was a pretty obvious equation of who's going to be the punching bag here. And it became me, bro. Like,
yeah.
dude, honest to God, between me and you, bro, like it's so funny when I see videos of me like on Instagram, or when people give me like certain like praise or congratulations for the fighting shit. Cause bro, most people have no idea. Most of my life, I was a fucking like fat video game nerd, bro. I've always just been a geek my whole life.
Yeah.
Like I literally just wanted to study. I used to tell people I just want to be a heart surgeon or a brain surgeon. That's all I ever wanted to do as a kid, bro. And I just
that's
became my
some
mom's
cool
punching
goals
bag.
though.
Oh,
Like I just want to
yeah.
be a brain surgeon or this. Like you like setting the bar way up here. Like
Mm,
as a kid, like
Yeah,
that's cool, bro.
as a child. No, for sure. And I become this punching bag at like 13, bro, and it was just brutal, because like just life it gets confusing, because you're supposed to think like this is shelter, and I'm going home and I'm getting
mm,
my fucking orbitals broken, bro. Like she used to just sit there and uppercut me, break my orbitals, break my nose, like fuck me up bad, not just like beat me up. You know what I'm saying?
mm,
And so these beatings would happen from like 13 to 15, and every time they occurred, I would just leave, and I would go sleep on the beach. I'd go sleep at friends' houses, and it became like a merry-go-round. Like these families all knew how fucked up I was living, all my friends' families, and they would take me in for weeks or months at a time. And from like 13 to 15, I never really even stayed at home.
So would you stay with
And
like local Hawaiian families?
yeah, it was all local families, and you know they still see me to this day, and I talk to all of them. They're very proud of me. But yeah, it was all
Oh
local
wow.
families in the community. Uh, thank God for that. Thank God there was a social matrix in place to kind of
Mm.
look after me in the community.
I
You
wonder,
know?
like, in the Māori community, that it is like community, right? You're saying it takes a village to raise a child.
Yeah.
That's like, I find it indigenous cultures, whole village chips in. Your uncles, your aunties,
Yeah.
your cousins, like, everyone's working together to make you thrive. Is it like that in Hawaii? Because it's like smaller community.
Mm.
Obviously, there would be native Hawaiians there. Oh no.
You know, I wish I could say it's like that today, from what I've seen here. I can't say that that exists today, but I can say in my generation, I'm 30 now. This was happening when I was 13 to 15, 15 years ago. I can say back then it was still like that. You know what I
Mm.
mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they definitely,
So what do you reckon's changed?
bro, the face of Hawaii has changed. Like there's so much development and
Mm.
foreign involvement in this state. It's truly no longer the place that I grew up in. It
Yeah.
is like completely changed. Even local families are just moving out. All the people you grow up around, you don't really see them. They're all like on the mainland or scattered through different parts of the island because no one can afford to live in like the communities they grew up in. It's just it's all shifting.
Mm.
So that's why I say like with what I'm seeing now, I can't say that like it would be the same for a kid going through the same thing in my community now. You know
Mm.
what I mean?
Crazy.
Yeah.
So, like,
Yeah, bro.
I have seen things online about people leaving Hawaii, and I heard, because what's that big base there? Pearl Harbor? Is it Pearl Harbor? Yeah, Pearl Harbor, like the American military
Pearl
base.
Harbor. Yeah.
Apparently, their things, something, they probably got nuclear something there, was like leaking into your water. But that's off topic anyway. But I was like, holy
Yeah.
shit, man! Like,
Okay, that's a real thing.
uh,
What you just said, that's a real problem. It's called Red Hill. It's a military base and they fucked up, bro, and they got jet fuel into their fucking water reserves that they've been giving all the military families. And you got all these families and all these children coming in with these exotic diseases because they've been drinking and showering in fucking jet fuel. And the military doesn't want to take responsibility for it, bro.
Mm.
that's
Yeah, they're fighting it in
nuts.
court right now. Right now, they're fighting it in court.
Really,
Crazy.
Yep, it's
man,
a real
man.
thing.
Sounds like a lot's changed in Hawaii
Mm.
lately.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure.
So I guess then you made a big move in your teenage years, I guess when you were 15, to
Yep.
America. What part of America did you move to? What was the transition like for you? And I guess what were like some more unexpected experiences? Like, when you moved to America, did you think life was going to get better?
Yeah, I remember thinking that, bro. It's the funny part.
What do they call it? The land of
Yeah, the
hopes and dreams or
yeah,
whatever.
like the
The
American
land of
dream.
Yeah.
hopes and dreams,
Yeah,
Yeah.
like, did you think you're
bro.
like, "Oh, man, I've had a shit upbringing in Hawaii. Like, if I can just get to the mainland, I'll be able to crack it."
That's exactly what I was thinking, bro. And it's fucking funny, bro, because when you're a kid, you try to look for as much hope as you can when you're growing up like that. Like
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember fucking. I remember I'd be like 15 years old, bro, and I'd be living at my friend Jacob Cobb Adams' house, and I'd be on YouTube, and I'd be looking up like American Top Team Florida, like, cause my fucking cousin reached out to me on MySpace. He's like, I think I'm your cousin, and your dad's looking for you, and that's how I bridged contact with
Oh,
my dad. And
crazy.
I was like, hey man, I'm like basically homeless out here. Like, can I come live with you? And he's like, oh yeah, sure, come live with me. And so I started doing all this research on Florida, and I'm like, oh, there's UFC fighters out there. I can go train at American Top Team. Like I'm thinking like this is my fucking big break. Because at this point. I've gone from wanting to be a brain surgeon to just being a fucking angry kid who's fighting all the time now. You
Mm.
get what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And
Yeah.
so now I want to be a UFC fighter. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so I'm thinking, yeah, bro, like this is gonna fucking be like my big break. Like I'm gonna go out there. I remember telling everyone. I don't know if you guys know who Tiago Pitbull Alves was, but he was like a big deal back then. Like when in like 2009, 2010, he's like an OG UFC fighter,
Yeah.
and he was down there at American Top Team in Florida at the time. I remember telling everyone, like, yeah, I'm going to go train with him and I'm going to try to learn from him and blah, blah, blah. And I get to Florida, bro, and it's just fucked. You get what I'm saying? Like, my dad, it's just fucked, bro. Like, bro, my dad is fucking shot. Like, he's just gone, bro. Like, he is fucking, like, detached from reality, delusional, bro. Like, this guy is telling me shit, like, to start fucking dream journals and to dream and to interpret the meaning of dreams to live, like, decision making in reality. And this is a fucking 40-something-year-old man, and I'm 15 years old, and I'm looking at this guy that I just met, and I'm like, you're fucking wrong. Like, there's no way that there's rationale and
Yeah.
logic in that. Like, fuck you. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
I'm having these thoughts with this guy that's supposed to be my dad, and I didn't fucking know what inner cities were like, and we're living in the hood, okay? So I move into the fucking hood of Orlando, Florida, bro. I move into Metro West, and like any of my Metro boys that are like truly came up in Metro West in 2010, 2011, 2012 know how fucking wild it was in that place, bro. That neighborhood was a straight up trap zone, bro.
What
All
other
these drug
cities would you
dealers, bro.
compare it to?
Bro, it's Orlando, Florida, so you got to be thinking like places like Miami, Jacksonville. We're talking huge cities with like inner city project housing of like
Yeah.
Latino populations, African American populations, and there's just like drugs flying everywhere and people shooting each other up. It's fucking wild. And so I'm a
Holy.
kid from Hawaii, bro. Like
Yeah.
I don't know any of this shit. You get what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like
Yeah.
I'm thinking, oh, like I'm fucking going to Florida. I'm the Hawaiian kid, and bro, I remember the fucking second night I'm sleeping at my dad's house in Metro West. I'm fucking sleeping, and I hear, da 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 da, da 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 da. You just hear a fucking assault rifle, like an AR-15, getting shot off like 2 blocks away, and I'm like, oh my god, like that was a fucking machine gun. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
I'm freaking out, and I'm like looking at my dad, and he's just like sound asleep. And I'm like, oh fuck. Like I moved into the hood. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
Oh,
Like
Yeah.
you think
like
you thought you were gonna move to like Palm Beach in Florida or something, eh?
Yeah.
Like the real rich place,
yeah.
eh? Oh, that's what I think when I think of Florida. I think of like beautiful beaches,
Yeah.
palm trees, like I don't know, an incredible city, like good people. Oh, but there, I suppose
Yeah.
every city's got its
Yeah.
thugs. Hey, every
Yeah.
city's got
100%.
its hood, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, bro. And like so in Orlando, there's like you got downtown and of course the hood's always lined downtown, right? But like Metro West was this weird thing because Metro West like cornered and hugged all like two different hoods. It was Ivy Lane and Carver Shores, and those were like very violent neighborhoods where shootings and murders happen all the time amongst African Americans and Latinos. And so that neighborhood is attached to the backside of Metro West. And on the other side of Metro West was Windermere, bro. And that's where Tiger Woods and Shaquille O'Neal and all these millionaires have gated estates. So Metro West was this in between like wealth and poverty. And so because of that, you would get all these fucking hood rats coming through to Metro West to either sell weight or fucking do home invasions or fucking like dude, it was just wild back then. Do shootings like I think it was I was living there for probably like 2 or 3 months, bro, and we got fucking home invaded. Like literally five grown ass fucking like dreadlocked 6 foot tall black men, bro, were fucking pounding on the door, and two were trying to come in through the patio, and there was three at the front door, bro.
Holy. Oh, so they're like
Yeah,
coming in from both sides of the house.
exactly. Like they were coming into the fucking house. And
Holy.
like I remember I was like 16 at the time. And so I'm sleeping, and all of a sudden I just hear my dad go, "Oh, oh, they're trying to come in. They're trying to come in." And I'm like waking up, and I'm like, "What?" Like I'm a little confused. He's like, "Here, they're trying to come in. They're trying to take it, take this." And like I look out, I literally just peek my head out of the fucking bedroom, bro, and I see in the patio like the fucking the blinds shifting, and I see these big black hands like shifting through. And then I look and my dad's like scrambling in the closet, and he opens the closet and rips it open, and he grabs a machete and he grabs one and tosses it towards me down the hallway. and he fucking literally opens the door, and he opens the door, and like the three black dudes are like in shock, and he's like, come here, and like he like starts running like through the door at them with a machete. I'm a 16-year-old kid, bro. This happened literally within 10 seconds of fucking waking up. Like, imagine being
Oh,
16 and this is what you wake up to. 1, 2, 3, 10 seconds, and all that just happened. And I'm
Far
like,
out.
what the fuck? And I'm looking down, and there's a machete with the blade facing towards me on the ground. And I'm thinking, all right, he cut right. So he chased one guy and he went right, and the right side around the right corner was where our patio was. So when my dad chased that one guy right, the two in the patio saw that there was someone in the house with a machete, and they got spooked and jumped out and ran the other way. So they got away. And then the two guys that split the other way, when my dad chased the one guy this way, I guess they thought no one else was in the fucking house. You get what I'm
yeah,
saying? I
Yeah.
guess they thought that the single resident left.
yeah.
So they fucking come back, bro. The two dudes, they start walking back down the hallway, and they turn the corner. And I literally remember looking down at the blade and thinking, all right, I should grab that for my protection. And looking up and just seeing one, like the corner of dreads, and then seeing this other dude who was shorter, like buzz cut hair with like this little fucking, this weird little etch, and his hair was tight, and then his buddy behind him was tall with dreads. And I just saw the angle, and I saw his head, the kid with the buzz cut. He was looking into the house, and him and I made eye contact. And I looked at him, and I grabbed the machete, and I fucking started sprinting at him. Like, it was like do or die. Like, in that moment, I remember thinking, like, oh, fuck, these guys are going to try to kill me. I have to kill him first. Like,
Yeah.
that was what was in my head as a 16-year-old kid. You know what I mean?
Did you ever think at one
Yeah.
point, oh, maybe they've got guns, or were you just straight
Bro,
in fight mode?
Bro, what's crazy is that 16-year-old me growing up in Hawaii in a state that is not gun friendly, I was so unaware of how much people get shot and how easily they get shot that I
Yeah, true.
literally didn't even cross my mind.
And I suppose if you just seen your dad run out with the machete, like
Mm.
you would, like, oh well, I'm fine with the machete too.
Yeah.
Like, but you're bringing a machete to a gunfight,
Yeah,
like,
potentially.
Yeah, bro,
like
that's not a good idea. You're gonna lose for sure. If they get distance on you, you're gonna lose. Yeah.
Sounds
So-
like an action
yeah,
Jason
yeah.
Bourne movie.
You could, or you know how before, well, like you could create a book, you could create a movie too. I'd watch that. Oh, yo, how are we, fam? While I got you here, I just want to give a quick shout out to our affiliate sponsor for this video today. My Heritage has a special promo going on. You get a DNA kit that you can find out your ethnicity, your family tree. It's actually really cool. I'll give you a little quick look on the app. We've got an app as well. You've got your family tree, your DNA, photos, discoveries, research. For example, DNA. I'm 58% Polynesian, 25.8% Scandinavian. If you actually go into the ethnicity estimate, it'll show you where I'm from on the map, and you can go through it on a deeper level and find out. And you can also go back through and it'll help you pick up your family tree. You can go through there, figure it out. There I am. Oh shit, you know how old I am now. We got my father, my mother, all her line. This is my mother's line, her grandfather, her grandma. My grandma was German, so you can go back through. That was my great-grandfather. You can see like all his kids, his siblings, which is pretty awesome. And before you ask, fam, it's not a scam. I've done it myself. Me, my brother, my sister, my mum, my dad. The cool thing is, we actually done my old man's not long before he passed away, and we got his DNA results back after he had passed. We found out his ethnicity, we found out his family tree, and it's so awesome to have these connections with my father. Something that I never would have had if I hadn't have got this opportunity. Also, just knowing it for myself and my own DNA, it's an incredible thing and a great conversation starter at the bar. So please, if you guys want to test it out for yourself, remember to use the code TIDES. You can use the link in my description below, or please feel free to scan the QR code and it'll take you to the site where you can purchase your own DNA kit. And I forgot to ask, if you guys like the video, please give me a like, subscribe, and ring that bell. Thanks, fam. I'll see you back in the episode.
Bro, I remember just being like freaked out, you know, just like survival mode. And I'm chasing these two guys through, and I go left and I follow them, and I'm chasing these two guys all of a sudden. And, you know, when I look back at it, the response of the police and whoever called the police, it makes sense because it probably looked a little bizarre. Like, I at this point was a pretty big kid, you know, and I fucking am running through this apartment complex and I'm trying to chop these guys up, bro. Like I'm hacking at the air, like trying to get them. Like I even nicked the guy's fucking dreads at one point. And so I'm running through an apartment complex, bro, as a 16-year-old kid, just swatting the air behind these guys like this. And they're running. And in my head, I'm like, yo, like I'm gonna try to kill you. Like for sure you were gonna take my life. Like
Mm.
I have to end you. And that was what was in my mind as a child, bro. It's terrible to say that. And so I fucking chased them, no joke, in an entire loop around my apartment complex. And when we get to the far end of my apartment complex, they jump the fence. And as they jump the fence, they keep running and they ran across the street and they're like panting. And then all of a sudden, bro, fucking police cars, dong, dong, they just start come beaming into the apartment complex. Like I'm talking like probably like 8 deep, just dong, dong,
Yeah.
dong, dong.
Holy.
And then fucking, and the black dudes see all the cops pouring into the complex and they bolt, boom. And so all these black dudes are fucking gone now. Like Houdini, bro. Like these motherfuckers were quick.
Yeah.
Quick, dog.
Yeah.
Like I'm telling you,
Yeah.
I've never run this fast before. And this motherfucker was gone. Like I even had like a few feet of swattage and I still couldn't catch him. These guys were quick, you know? And so all of a sudden all these cops come beaming in and I turn around, bro, and I see all these cop cars bolting at our apartment. And I'm like, all right, like at this point, it's probably not smart to have a machete in my hand. You know what I mean? And so I drop it, and like my dad's like, oh, da 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 da, like they're gone now, they're gone now. We don't have to worry. And so we go back to the apartment, and the fucking police take prints. They take our whole story. They look at everything that happened. And dude, the police tells us, check this out. I'll never forget this. This is when I knew, like, all right, I'm in a different place now. Like I have shit to learn here. Was when the cop told us. He said, next time don't chase them and don't make any noise. Just let them come in and kill them, and we'll take the bodies. Because here in this state, there's a stand your ground law. And if you kill them in your own property, like, you're fine.
Oh, so it's well, I suppose it's self-defense. But so if you chase them off your property like your dad did, and I suppose you did, and then you kill them,
Yeah,
it's on you.
it's on you. Yeah, because you're the
Oh,
aggressor. You pursued them. You pursued them. But if you bring them into your space and maybe lock the door or close the whatever, or you just wait till they come in and you get them,
that's crazy, bro. So were you homeless in America at all, or were you always living with your old man?
even when I was living with my old man, bro, we fucking lost the house, dude. This fucking dickhead, he manages to fuck up and like not work and go basically to where we're gonna get evicted from the fucking apartment. And he basically talks, bro. Like I said, I was always a nerd, right? So somehow or another, I'm fucking basically homeless from 13 to 15 in Hawaii. I'm still making straight A's in honors classes,
Holy
straight
Jesus.
A's. Like I walk
That's
into class and
crazy.
not even
Yeah.
study A, you know.
So you're just naturally smart, like you didn't even have to try.
That's the thing, bro. I was just so blessed with like intelligence when it came to school that like
Mm.
I didn't even really have to try. I was still able to keep good grades. So by the time I got to Florida, it was a different high school tiered system, and they looked at me and they said, "You can graduate right now at 16." And I was like, "What?" And they're like, "Instead of graduating though, we'd like to put you in this program where we pay for you to go to college." So at 16 years old, bro, I was in college. I was a college student. And so I'm going to college with all these adults and the state's paying for it and I'm doing great. And my dad essentially talks me into fucking taking out like a $10,000 student loan in his name so that he can pay off the landlord, bro, that was about to evict us. And so, yeah, bro. So he takes this loan and pays off the landlord, and we still get fucking evicted somehow. And
Oh,
so
bro.
and so, bro, we're fucking, bro, at this point, I'm 17 years old, bro, like 17, and we're fucking literally couch surfing, bro. A man and his son were like his coworkers. If they had like an empty couch, we'd go like sleep on the couch, and I'd like sleep on the floor. And then the next day, they didn't want us there, so like we'd go sleep in their driveway in the car. And then like his other coworker used to be a landlord that owned multiple houses. And like I remember one of his guys moved out, and they were like, "Hey, if you guys really need a place to stay, we have an empty house. no furniture, but you can sleep in it and just have some shelter for like 2 weeks while we clean everything and organize it for the next tenants. And so like we were there for 2 weeks. I remember literally living in this empty house, bro, in Orlando, Florida with my fucking dad. I'm 17. I'm going to paramedic school at the time, and I'm coming home to this just fucking empty house.
Mm.
And I'm like, this is so fucked. Like, I'm so tired of being fucking poor. You
Yeah.
know? And like that, these people end up coming and moving in, and we're out again. And then now we're at a fucking motel, bro. We're at a Motel 6 over in Kissimmee, Florida, which is known as like Little Puerto Rico, bro. Orlando is the third largest Puerto Rican population in all of America outside of Puerto Rico. So
Mm.
Kissimmee is notoriously fucking shady because that is like Little Puerto Rico, bro. And like this little area, Earlo Bronson, where we were staying, Motel 6. Bro, I remember hearing fucking hookers getting rammed like as I was falling asleep as a 17-year-old kid because
Damn.
my fucking dad didn't pay the landlord and we're living in a fucking motel. Dude, you dude,
Wow.
and what's remarkable, okay, is I remember vividly, I remember vividly, bro, I'm living in this fucking hotel and I'm studying for a cardiology exam in my paramedic program, and I'm hearing this fucking hooker next to me just get railed. Just loud, bro, like wailing like a
Yeah.
horse. And I'm like, fuck, like if she could only just like be quiet a little bit. And I go and I take this test and I get a perfect score. I get a fucking perfect score on the cardiology section of this
What?
paramedic program. And yes, bro. And all my classmates are looking at me like, yo, I fucking failed. Like, I don't know how you did that, da da da. Like, you should be a doctor. You should be a doctor. Like, people started saying that shit. And it was at that point in my mind, I was like, fuck, man. Like, maybe I can take this thing far. You know,
Mm.
like, maybe, like, I don't just have to be a paramedic because I'm poor. Like, maybe I can go all the way through, you know?
Mm.
And so I remember, like, fucking coming home and getting this perfect score, and I'm in this fucking hooker motel again. And I was like, dude, this is fucking brutal. Like, this is
Yeah.
so brutal. Like, no matter what I do,
Yeah.
I
How
just can't catch
I
a
wanted to
break.
ask about that. Like, how did you get through? Like, how did you study and focus, or what? How did you get determination when you're going home to a motel, or you go home when your dad's, losing all his money, and there's just all these things going on? How do you focus to get good grades at school or study? Was that just natural talent, or like, how did you not get put
Bro,
off?
Or was it because you wanted to
bro,
fight your way out?
Yeah, yeah.
Like, you
Was
know
it
what I mean?
was
Like,
it
you're
yeah,
just
just
bro.
like, "Oh, I'm in
yeah.
the dumps, like, I need to make something of myself, otherwise I'm gonna be here
Mm,
forever."
Yeah, bro. There's really two parts to it, bro. And I really like that you guys kind of dig into this because uh the first part about it, bro, is delusion. I was truly delusional in my mind at that point that like, you know, I was a 17-year-old kid, right? I'm a 17-year-old kid, and bro, I was delusional. Like I would just like watch like Floyd Mayweather fucking like his docu-series for his fight camps and just imagine that like one day I was going to make it and like I'd be able to have like these luxurious fight camps like Mayweather, or I
mm,
would fucking just like watch YouTube videos of these guys like doing fucking championship fights in Thailand and Lumpini and like envision myself there, like fighting in Bangkok and like doing something big. Like I always in my head, no matter how bad things were, I had this way of like creating this imaginary reality that like I could trick myself into believing was gonna happen.
yeah.
And like the like, it's strange to look back at it now because of what I've done throughout my like young adult life
Mm,
now. Like I've been able to kind of actualize certain imaginations I had
yeah.
in my childhood, right? But the biggest thing back then that like allowed me to keep moving forward and just allowed me to focus was because as fucked up as things were, like I really believed I was gonna reach the point that I'm at now.
Mm,
Like I truly believed it. I was like, one day I'll be a PA or a doctor. Like one day I'll fight in Thailand. One day I'll travel. Like I just believed it
mm,
for some reason.
Yeah.
And that was the first big part of it. And the second part of it, man, was like, around that age, dude, it's funny to say this now, but back when Joe Rogan wasn't a thing, like before he got on YouTube and got all like this Spotify deal, I'm talking like 2000.
When he was the host of Fear
yeah,
Factor?
yeah. Fear factor.
Yeah, like that type of era, bro. Like when he first started his podcast, they were like on Ustream or some shit. And like I used to watch a lot of his shit, and like Eric Thomas. And like I would just look for his podcast where he would bring on motivational people or educated people. And I would focus in on the things that they were saying and take it like free educational lessons as if they were talking to me.
Mm.
And dude, it's the weirdest thing to say that, but like that shit worked wonders. You know what I mean? Like using source of information that I knew was going to be effective.
Yeah.
It was cool, man. It's like a little hack for sure.
Oh, that's mad, bro. So what led you to like pursue? I suppose you know how you wanted to be a doctor, and then you obviously wanted to be like a Muay Thai fighter or like a UFC fighter. When did you start pursuing a career in Muay Thai and in
Mm-mm.
mixed martial arts? Was there a particular moment, like obviously you're looking at these people growing up on TV and you're like, I want to do that. But what actually gave you the opportunity to move to Thailand or to like start training over there
Mm.
and pursue your dream?
Yeah. Luckily, uh, when I was living with these families, man, like at 14 years old, they noticed how angry I was, and
You're still
kind
pretty
of,
angry. Nah, I'm
yeah,
joking.
right. The propensity I had for fighting, as a kid, and bro, they luckily took me to like the local MMA gym in town. And the thing is like this gym in the town I was in Kailua, at the time, bro, like it had a pretty heavy roster of pro fighters, bro. And so like I remember being like 15 years old and I was a big kid and I was scrappy, I was just hungry. And so I went into this gym, MMA development, and bro, they fucking they because I was the size of a 145er, they just threw me in to like spar with their pro fighters and shit, bro. And so by the time I'm 15 years old, bro, I'm getting fucking clobbered by pro MMA fighters. Like, dude, like looking back at it, I don't know who the fuck okayed that shit. Like that was not good for my head. Like at all. That was not good for my health, bro. But like I remember in particular there was this guy, his name was Kana Hyatt. His fight nickname was the One Man Riot. Kana the One Man Riot Hyatt, bro. And Kana and I were the same size. And Kana used to just fucking take off on me, bro. Like I remember I would have headaches for days after fucking sparring with that motherfucker. And so I ended up training there, and then I was like, wait, like I need to get good at something. And so I started striking at this Muay Thai place called Lao Hoi Hoi. And the way I knew I could do it was I talked to one of my friends whose mom was real supportive of his endeavors, and I talked to one of my friends into doing Muay Thai just so I could get a ride to that gym. You get what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And so yeah, so I started doing the Muay Thai thing then, and I never really stopped. So like from 15 onward, I had always been training, and I remember thinking like this is something I wanted to do, but I couldn't really do much more than just get amateur fights at that point and train from like 15 to 20. And it was at 21, man, I met my ex-wife. And that's when everything kind of like really changed for me because as an amateur in MMA, I was like 7th in the state of Florida at 170 in 2014 when I was like 20 years old at the time. And then I turned 21. I meet my ex-wife and I'm telling her like, yo, like if I want to like really do this, like I need to like get nasty at something. And so I need to go learn like real Muay Thai in Thailand and like get good at this stuff in Bangkok. And so she was down with it, and she like allowed me to just leave, so I saved money for a few months and I just left for like 4 months. And she held down the fort, she held down the house, and she held down kind of whatever we had going on back home in Orlando. And that was really like when everything started to change for me, was when I started spending time in Bangkok and living amongst these high level fighters, bro. Like when you live among high level strikers and you're training with these guys every day, you spar and you clinch with them, like there's only one way you can come out. You know what I mean? Like you're gonna be nasty.
So
Everyone
how
ends
long were
up
you living
nasty.
in Thailand for?
Bro, so I started going out to Thailand at 21, like right before I turned 22. It was like 21. It was 2016 to 2018. And so I ended up taking, it was like 3 trips to Thailand, but I was there for long breaks. Like the first time it was like 4 months. Second time it was like 4.5, 5 months. And then the third time again, it was like right about at 5 months. So it was like I ended up doing like 14 months in Thailand, something like that. 14, 15 months in Thailand between 2016, 2018. Yeah, it was game changing. Changed my life. Changed my
And then
life.
was she your fiance at the time? Did she pretty much just like support you financially while you were there as well? Or did you get paid while you're over there, like
Um,
for fights and stuff?
So the thing is, bro, when you're fighting, especially when you're in Bangkok, bro, like the reality is like the only way you can live off the fight money out there is if you're a sponsored fighter, and you got to be pretty nasty to be a sponsored fighter, right? Because you're dealing with like top tier talent internationally that's flying all over the world into Bangkok to fucking fight striking. So like
Yeah.
Yeah.
right off the bat, you got to be a pretty nasty dude for a gym to want to pay for you to fight for them.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
so I wasn't there, not the caliber that I was. So I was paying my way. And that's why I would have to do trips, because what I would do is I would literally go to Thailand for months on end, and then I would come back home and I would literally work like every day, bro. I'm not exaggerating, like literally every day for like 3 months straight, and just save up like 10, 15 grand, like as much money as I could, and then I'd leave again. And I'd go all the way until all my dollars were expended, then I'd come back, work again, bunch of shifts, like one day off a week at most, and then go right back out there. And I lived like that for like 2 years.
That's pretty cool. I suppose if you want
Yeah,
something, you got to grind for it.
Yeah.
It ain't easy.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nah, it's not. It's not. But it changed my life, bro. Like fuck, man. Like, dude, Thailand, I'm so thankful for all the time I spent in that country. It was life changing. Like a lot of the gyms out there too, you get access to trainers, bro. Like I was at Kiat Phan Tip in Salaya in Bangkok, and like Nim Nuan Lukmatuli like took me under his wing and like just like spent so much time on me, and I learned so much from the Arjan Nim. And then like at Sang Morakat, I went there, and that's like right in the center of Bangkok, like near Khao San Road. And for the like 4 or 5 months I was there, Ole Sakonpech like put a bunch of time on me, and that's like one of my good trainers and friends till this day, because like that guy changed my life, man. Like he had a WBC Australian title, believe it or not, back in the day, and he also fought a bunch in Thailand. And so working with that guy every day, like twice a day, the amount of knowledge was just, it was crazy. It was crazy. Yeah, there's another guy, Payak Samui, Luke Japorong Tom. Like I learned crazy amounts from him too over at Sang Morakat. And then I also, towards the end of 2018, man, I started to dabble in like different other gyms, like not necessarily to fight out there and do camps, but more so just to get sparring rounds. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like I just wanted to see, like I
Experience.
just wanted to see where I was at,
Yeah.
with like the top tier dudes. And so like I went to fucking, I went to, it was called MTA. It's still called MTA, Muay Thai Academy. And it was like the old Rampo gym. And like at that time, bro, like that team, MTA, like they were killing it. Like they had Super Bond, they had fucking Luis Africano, they had fucking Jay Tonkin, they had your cousin,
Yeah,
they had
boy.
Dingo on
Joe
there.
Tonka, yeah, yeah, whoop, whoop, whoop.
Yeah, bro.
The
They had
dingo.
Buster back. Like, bro, they had all these dudes, bro, like a heavy squad. And so I remember like at one of my last 2018 trips, bro, that's when I met your cousin. And like so I'd spent some time in Thailand, had a few fights in Bangkok, and so I'm like kind of floating around at this time. I had just gotten through my divorce. I had just gotten off of surgery, so I wasn't really looking to fight, but I still knew I could spar and train. So I wanted to get working. And so like I remember going to MTA, and this is just like what Bangkok is, bro. And that's what I love about that place is like it's a real ass place. Like you can talk shit about as much like tough guy fighting shit as you want, but like at the end of the day, there's a fucking ring and a high level gym on any corner, and you can walk in there and really see how gangster you are. You get what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah.
You
And
back it
so
up.
when I was out there, when I was out there, bro, like I go into MTA, and at the time there's this guy running the fucking team. His name's Rustim. This guy from like Kazakhstan, this crazy ass fucking dude.
Yeah, Kazakhstan.
And yeah. And I go in there and I'm like thinking, oh, I'm gonna just knock some pads, hit the bag, fuck it. And I just bring my gloves and I go in, bro, and it's sparring. And they got all the international boys there. Super Bond's there, Jay's there,
Jesus.
Mansurbeck's there, like all the boys. And they're all just getting ready and they're all fucking going. And I remember Rustam's like, hey, get in there. And I look at him and I was like, oh, like I don't have my mouthpiece. Like thinking, oh, like he'll let me hit the bag or whatever and like fuck around on pads. And he's like, no, like get in there. He's like, it's okay. Next time, bring it. Get in there. And in my head, I'm like, oh, what the fuck? That's what he said to
Well,
me,
it's
bro. He's
like
like, yeah,
completely
get in
different
there.
because I've done Muay Thai in Australia, but they wouldn't do that. You know, it's like safety first. Like over there,
Yeah,
nah, G, just
Yeah.
chuck you in the deep end. You
yeah,
sink or you swim.
correct. Yeah, like you either belong here or you don't. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And so I remember there was also a Chinese team. There was a few badass Chinese kickboxers there at the time. And so I go with a few of the Chinese guys, you know, Chinese hands, not necessarily the best boxing, good kickboxing, but so I remember sparring with a few of these Chinese guys getting decent rounds, and it was like my third sparring round. I get fucking Jay, bro. And we've never met each other before. Never met each other
So this
before.
was the first time
Never.
fighting. You didn't.
This is the
First time
first
meeting.
Yeah,
time we've
first. Well,
ever met.
first time meeting each other was fighting.
Yes, bro. Literally. And this is the part, bro. This is the part that I wanted to make sure I told you, bro, because you're gonna laugh your ass off, bro. I knew who Jay was because I was in the Muay Thai world. He obviously didn't know who I was. I didn't have a fucking name. You know what I mean? And so I'm in there, and he points at me, and I'm like, all right, bet. And like we like tap gloves, and I look at him, and I was like, yo, just real quick, I don't have my mouthpiece. I forgot it today. And he looks at me and he nods. He's like, yeah, all good. I got you. And he has his fucking mouthpiece in, right? And so I'm thinking, like, oh, we're just gonna chill. And so like I tap gloves, and bro, he just starts coming, just ding, 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 and I'm like, boom, 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 and I'm like, oh, this motherfucker. You know what I mean? I was like, oh, like this dude's trying to fucking hit me. Like, he doesn't care if I shit. And bro, I remember thinking like, dude, I gotta fuck this kid up. Like I gotta get him to stop hitting me. And so my left hand, I'm a southpaw, and my left hand has always just been a rocket. And so I remember just like holding this shield here and just check hook and boom, just hitting him as hard as I could with my left hand and pushing him back. And we just start going back and forth like that, just like ramming each other. And I don't even have a fucking mouthpiece in, bro. And I'm just going at him because at this point I'm like, you know what, fuck you. Like you tried to take my teeth out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Or you know what's?
And
Or you know
so,
what's even funny about this story? So because Jay told me the first time he met you too, and he just heard an American accent in the gym, and he's just like, "I'm gonna smash this guy." Like so, when he got to spar you, all he wanted to do was smash you, not because
yeah,
of you, but because you're American, bro.
yeah. And bro, straight up, he meant it. Like everything he said, he fucking meant. Cause bro, I remember thinking he's gonna take it easy, and I literally got hit like 5 times hard, bro. Like ding, 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 and I was like, all right, let's fucking do it. You know what I mean? Like,
Oh, that's actually gold, bro.
yes, bro, that's a real ass story. And so after that day, like I remember like that it was that cracker round and that was it. Like we didn't go near each other after that. It was like fuck you, like kind of thing, you know? Like we didn't go any near each other and like training goes on. And then as we're sitting down, I walk up to him because I had a bunch of weed I brought with me from America. And I'm like, yo, you like smoking weed? And he's like, yeah. And I was like, all right, well, let me know where you stay, bro. I'll come over. I got weed from America, like a dispensary. And he's like, what? And I was like, yeah. And like, I fucking went over his apartment like that night and smoked him out with all this dispensary grade weed. And he was just mind blown. Like, he had never had weed that good at that point. And because he had been living in Thailand the whole time, Thailand wasn't legal with weed. And like, that's when we linked up and we became boys. So that
There's always a
time at the
bond,
end
eh?
of
You can always create a bond. If it's not fighting, it's drugs. Nah, I'm joking.
yeah.
Oh, no, that's cool, bro. So when did you like move from fighting? Because you obviously had a few fights yourself and stuff. How did you progress into the coaching
Yeah.
space? Because everyone knows you ended up coaching my cousin as
To be
well.
honest with
And do you
you,
have a favorite coaching moment that stands
yeah,
out, was particularly meaningful or inspiring to you as
bro.
well?
Oh, bro, yeah. So the meaningful moment is for sure that night where your cousin fought David Pennington going into the third round. Like, bro,
That was a banger,
that was
eh?
hands down. That was hands down the most legendary moment of all coaching for anything. Like, bro, that moment meant so much.
That even
Like
got voted fight of the
people like
year. They were
you.
fight of the
True.
year. Yeah, yeah.
That's
That's crazy.
what I'm saying, bro. Like he did incredible that night, and like people like you, like Bradley, like Gilo, like his mom, Auntie Marissa, like these people that know, like what actually happened behind the scenes from his fight with Cody to that night. Like, bro, what happened that night was fucking legendary. You know what I mean? And like going into that third round was hands down like my favorite moment. Now as far as like what happened that night, like I remember thinking, like, fuck man, like Jay can beat this guy. Like he can knock him out. And like the first 2 rounds, he was being a little hesitant. Like I just saw him pulling back, and he was like a half a second behind him in his timing. And so like I'm like thinking in the second round, like fuck, I gotta wake this kid up. Like I gotta wake him up. And so G-Lo is like doing his massage thing in the corner in the second round, and I jump up. I just fucking grabbed Jay, like I just grabbed the back of his neck and like his fucking mullet, and I just start screaming, bro. I start yelling. I'm like, look at me. What the fuck are you doing? Stop waiting. Get in his face and knock him out. Put your elbow through his fucking jaw and kill him. You hear me? You hear me? And I'm just like yelling at him. And I'm like, Jay, we spent 2 fucking months in the middle of nowhere. I said, you need to kill this guy. And I'm just yelling. I'm like, don't fucking let this moment go. Go through him. You can beat him. You can beat him. And I'm like yelling at him.
Is that the end
And
of the
he's, like,
second
looking
round?
at me. Yes, bro. At the end of the second
It's funny
round,
you say that because I noticed that third round. I don't know if you've seen it, but that third round, bro, it's just elbows galore. I've
Yeah.
never seen someone come in with so many elbows, and Jay was just charging at him with elbows, like
Yeah.
blood everywhere. I was just like, holy, and they weren't even throwing punches. They're literally just elbow to elbow. I'm just like, holy Jesus, blood spraying everywhere.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah,
oh.
Well, there's the reason why.
bro. It was like a gladiator match. It was like a gladiator match in real time. Till this day, dude, that's one of the best fights I've ever seen in person, period. Till this day. Like, it was like a gladiator
It
match, bro. Like, I
was.
had blood
Bro,
on
I'm
my
getting
shirt.
goosebumps talking about it now, eh? Oh.
Yes, bro. That was a crazy fight. That was a crazy fight. So, hands down, my favorite coaching moment so far is Jay Tonkin versus David Penningpede last year, August. Hands down.
Oh, that's awesome, bro.
Yeah.
And then but how did you transition from being a fighter to a coach? And how did you end up my cousin's
Yeah,
coach?
bro. Yeah. So, honestly, man, it wasn't by choice, bro. And like, it's funny, right? It's so funny to say that, dude. Like, it really is. Like, bro, like, because people see all like this coaching shit I do and like the doors I can open for people and like, how well I train people for fight camps. And it seems so purposeful. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, it seems intentional. But, bro, the honest truth is like, in 2018, I was 24 years old and going through a divorce, and I fucking had my third knee surgery, bro. I tried to fight in Lumpini Stadium. I was fighting this guy from Paris, France on Songkran, bro, in the Thai New Year, April 2018, and I fucking blew my knee out again, bro. And it was my dream fight, Lumpini Stadium, Thai TV, Songkran. It was the fucking moment I had been wanting my whole life. And I ended up blowing my knee out and ended up needing surgery, and it was my third knee surgery by the time I was 24.
She
And so I was like, fuck, man. Like, I'm going to end up fucking handicapped and broke. And you know what I mean? Like, I got to figure out something else. And so that's when I changed all my focus to go to school to become what I'm doing now, right? A PA and master's.
Yeah.
And so, to be honest with you, bro, for for a while, like I had a bitter taste in my mouth about fighting when all that had happened. So from like 2018, when I got back from Thailand, December 2018, I had gotten back like right before the new year. I spent most of 2018 in Thailand. And so I got back right before the new year. And I remember thinking like, all right, just work in school, just work in school. And so I fucking am just working as a paramedic, going to school full time. And cut to, I could only keep it up till March. Like by March, I was just itching to fucking be violent. Like, like you grow up doing this shit, bro. You like hitting stuff. Like that's just the best way to put it, And so I was like, all right, like let's go spar some people. Like I remember thinking like literally just like that. And so I get up off the couch, and Fusion Excel is in Orlando, Florida, and they had a bunch of good dudes at the time. So this is like March 2019. They had Mike Perry, Phil Rowe, they had fucking Jacare, they had all these big names in there, you know what I mean? And so I knew, like, boom, that's where I'm gonna go get my rounds. And so I walked up in there, bro, and I start sparring with their pro fighters, and a few of the dudes that I'm over there sparring with, I just start fucking their shit up. Like, I'm not gonna sit here and say I was fucking up their big name dogs. Like, bro, they got some badass dudes in there, but like their pro fighters that are on their roster, they'd never seen me before, right? And so I go in there and I just start fucking around. And I'm like blowing head kicks and sweeping people all over the place. And they're like, yo, like, who do you fight for? Where do you train? And I'm like, bro, I'm in medical school. Like, I used to try to be a fighter, but it didn't work out. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
these like Brazilians, bro, these Brazilians couldn't believe it, bro. I swear to God. Till this day, I
Where
remember
did you learn to fight? Bro, I just patch up fighters. I'm a doctor.
yeah.
Yeah.
How do you balance your coaching with studying to be a doctor? Is your life like, full on? You know what I
Mm.
mean? Now you're watching fighters, you're training. I seen you in Alaska with one of your fighters, you're flying all over the world to support them and trying to finish your degree
Yeah,
at
and
the same time.
it's not easy to study medicine.
Oh, but then at the same time, it's crazy because you obviously were getting A grades in school with the shittest background, being homeless,
Mm.
abusive parents, and you're cracking it there. So is it just like second nature for you? Like, do you feel comfortable just consistently being busy
Yeah,
under pressure?
yeah.
Pressure makes diamonds. So you're like, boy, I'm Dustin Poirier, I'm a diamond.
Yeah, yeah. No, it's just, bro, like certain classmates, like they'll even ask me, like, how the hell do you have time to like do what you're doing and flying and training these guys? And I tell them the same thing. Like, honestly, it's just a lot of time management. And I hate to admit this because it's just it's not okay to say this, but unfortunately, sleep too, bro. Bro, my average bedtime is anywhere between 2 to 3 a.m. Like, that's usually when I go to bed, and then I'll wake up anywhere between 6 to 7.
And do you feel recharged when you wake up? Like, do you feel like you've got heaps of energy?
Fuck no. Fuck no, bro. My testosterone levels,
It's like,
bro, my testosterone levels were
Yeah. So
219. Bro, they were 219, bro. I was in the fucking, I was knocking on death's door a few
yeah.
weeks ago. The doctors were like, you know what? Like, this is dangerous. Come here. And they've been giving me TRT. Thank God, bro. I feel like a new man now that I have fucking test. But they said I fucked my testosterone levels up by not sleeping for
Oh,
so many
wow.
years.
wait, that's interesting because
Yeah.
yeah, I'm a bit of a night owl as well, and I probably reckon I could do with some testosterone. I'd be big and strong. I'm skinny ass.
So it's life changing, bro. It's life changing.
Yeah,
Yeah, bro. That's really what it is, man. Is like just sleep, dog. Like, you know, unfortunately sleep gets sacrificed and I fucking just is nonstop some days. But honestly, bro, like and like you said too, a big part of it is like, you know, that lifestyle is intolerable to most people. And I'm
mm,
fully aware of that. And I think that by some grace of God, I was able to create a functional focus target for my survival based instincts. Does that make
yeah,
sense? So like the environment I grew up in, you're used to going nonstop, being in survival mode, kind of looking around, and I just translated that to being productive in civilian life.
Mm,
Thankfully.
yeah. Wait, nah, that's actually cool, bro. That's like
mm.
such a good answer
That's
too,
real interesting.
and it'll give people a different perspective on it. You know, like people these days, are like, oh, I'm struggling at uni, and they quit or whatever. If you could have a different perspective on it.
Mm,
Oh yeah, and then
Yeah.
I've worked like I found when I was working and studying at the same time, being time poor, you
mm.
actually become like what you said, you learn to be a lot more effective with your time. Because
Efficient.
yeah,
Yeah.
efficient. And then like people who are on the dole and are lazy and not doing anything and don't have any ambition and they're always tired.
Hmm.
They think because they're resting all the time they're gonna have energy. But the opposite, you're doing nothing, you're gonna be nothing. Like
Yeah.
you're gonna feel like shit. It's an interesting perspective. So sure people will appreciate that.
Mm.
But like, looking back on all the experiences you've had, which ones have been the most impactful teaching you about resilience and perseverance?
Mm.
Your childhood? What?
Yeah. You know, I think it was I think it was a mix of my childhood and actually the experiences I've had in different third world territories. You know, it started when I was in Thailand, man. I started to get fascinated with kids in poverty there and how they were making it out with Muay Thai. And so, like, I noticed in all these gyms I was at, like, seeing how, like, just there's these kids, bro. They're fucking 8, 10, 12 years old, and they're fighting as pro fighters to support their families in the
Mm.
Yeah, that's
villages.
crazy. Yeah.
Like, it doesn't fucking get
Yeah.
much harder than that, bro. Like when you're living and training
Yeah.
alongside that, it like shifts your
Yeah.
perspective a lot, right? On on like the magnitude of suffering that exists in the world, and how much grind some people have at such a young age.
Yeah.
You get what I'm
Oh,
saying? And so that was when like my first perspective shift started to happen, and then I would visit like the Mercy Center in Bangkok, and there's this guy there named Father Charles, I believe is his name, and he's a priest from Boston, bro, Massachusetts in America, and he runs an orphanage there in Klong Toi, which has a history of being slums in Bangkok. And so after that, it really sparked my interest, and then I would spend time in Haiti from like 2018 I went, 2019 I went, 2021 I went. And during my time out there, man, it was crazy. It was so crazy. Like, it's the poorest country in the Western Hemisphere. And,
oh,
even now till today, it's considered like a failed state right now. Like, dude, it's a level 4 travel.
Is Haiti its own country, like its own government? Yeah.
It is its own country and government, but it shares an island with Dominican
Right,
okay.
Republic.
right.
Yeah, and so when I was over there, man, like I'm over here like hanging out and training kids that like just legitimate street orphans. Like they live in like shanties on the side of mountains, and like they're over here like drinking beers casually at 10 years old. Like this is like stuff I'm around, and I'm just like looking at this, and I'm like, holy shit! Like there's like depths of human experience in life that like I'll never even have to
Mm,
endure.
yeah,
Like you know what I'm saying? And like that perspective shift changed everything for me, because it made me realize like if that's existing and those people are still surviving, like, and I have my baseline and I went through the childhood I went through, like the sky's the
yeah,
limit for me. I'm in a good country. I have access to everything I could want. I just need to work for it and structure my decision making in a certain way.
That would have been a huge eye opener, eh?
Yeah, it opened my eyes tremendously. It just made me realize how much opportunity was in front of me. You know, when you start to see like the depth of what you can lack.
mm,
You know,
Yeah, because with people
yeah,
in first world countries, they do have it tough, and they probably think, oh, sometimes there's like a why me mentality, or like,
oh,
they're struggling, but they've never experienced life outside of Australia, which is a super blessed country in
oh, yeah,
itself. Like, if you could go to, obviously Haiti's probably one of the worst, but even Thailand or any third world country, you're going to see bits and pieces where you're like, holy shit, like they're doing it tough.
yeah,
Like, and even as you said, like with your own childhood growing up, and then you move to Haiti and you're seeing what they're experiencing, it's like a whole nother level to what
yeah,
you've had. Like, no matter how bad you have it, there's someone
yeah,
else in the world having it worse.
yeah, I was thinking the
A-
exact same
a
thing.
whole
yeah,
nother.
and no matter how good you have it, there's someone having it better as well.
Yeah, yeah,
Exactly.
Like,
I said better, yeah, bro.
that's what this podcast's all about, baby. The
Exactly.
changing tides in all of our lives.
yeah,
um, yeah, you
Hey,
like
I
that one,
love
my
it,
bro?
bro. That's a good.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, bro. It's a good name for it, bro. It's a good fucking
Thank you,
name, bro.
thank you. Alright, so what are your dreams?
Yeah.
What are your dreams, brother? What are your aspirations for the future, and how do you plan on achieving greatness? I mean, you're already great.
Oh, bro, I appreciate it. I graduated in August, man, and it's crazy because I look back at my 20s, right? And I look at all the things I was blessed to be able to do. And the funny thing is I've been a college student the whole time.
yeah, that's
Like I've
crazy.
been in trying to get to medical school the whole fucking time, bro. Like I remember being 2016 through 2018 in Bangkok. I remember training all day, morning and night, morning and afternoon training, and I'd go get dinner, and I would literally sit in my fucking room. I don't know how many other Nakmoy in Bangkok do this. I doubt very many. And I'll go sit in my room and do fucking homework till 2 a.m. and then wake up again at 6:30 for
Mm,
morning training. Like I've been living like this a long fucking time. You know what I mean? And so I graduate finally in August, and when I graduate in August, man, my time is gonna free up, and I'll be able to actualize a lot of things that I've had interest in and been working on in the quiet hush hush, where I'll be able to bring it to the forefront and bring it to the world. And so like one of the big things that I really want to do is like I want to finish building that gym for the kids in Haiti. So like I have, when I was in Thailand, I got the idea. When I was in Haiti, I started to put it into effect, but I started a boxing program out there. I got like 70 kids right now, training a few days a week with some local boxing instructors. I brought all the equipment myself. I taught them all how to essentially teach kids how to box, and I started the kids over those trips while I was over there, and it gave me this idea, man, to like open up gyms with educational centers and sleeping quarters for children in third world territories, and just create like a safe haven for these communities, you know. So that was one big thing that I wanted to do, was after I had finished Haiti, allow that to be kind of my pre-make model, kind of like the first rendition,
Oh,
and
this is
fine tune what it is that the facility could offer. And then I want to bring it into other countries. So different parts of South America, Puerto Rico, Dominican Republic. And so that's one of my big long-term just goals for myself, is I just want to give opportunity to kids like me in different territories. So I want to open gyms in different countries. That's one of my big goals for sure. And you know, secondly, man, like the reality is, bro, is if you want to be a pro fighter, you need support. Like you need the right support. You need to have like a great family behind you that can put resources into you, or you need to find a good coach that brings you up from when you're young and opens the right doors. Like you need to have the right things happen to make it as a fighter. And the thing is like I never had that, bro. I was literally just taking scraps. Like I would take any fights I could get. I never had any direction, never had any resources behind me. And so I'm 30 years old, man. Like I'm younger than a lot of the guys that I even work with. Like most people don't realize that. And so I want to fight, dog. Like I want to go back to pro fighting, and I'm trying to fight in Thailand, Cambodia, Japan, like all that shit. I want to fucking fight. So like that's another big thing that's coming. Probably towards the end of the year I'll start competing again. Anywhere between like September to December, I'm looking at pro MMA and pro Muay Thai mainly. And then thirdly, man, like I can't say too many details about this
Ooh.
just yet because of the way we're
Oh,
putting
just a
things
little
together,
bit.
bro.
Just a little bit.
But there's,
Oh
man,
well, you
dude,
can tell us.
fuck,
I'll
this
just
is
just
gonna
cut
be
this part out
big.
next minute.
Nah.
All right. So, no,
Yeah,
bro,
I'll just cut it out, bro. I got
bro.
you.
So
Wink, wink.
fucking,
Wink, wink. Nah.
nah, bro, you can post this, bro. He's not gonna fucking see it. It's just maybe not maybe we can't pump this little segment on Instagram, you know
Oh
what I
yeah.
mean? But
Oh, so this is like a little secret that no one's gonna know unless they watch the end of the video. You got to
Mm.
watch the podcast the whole way through to
Yeah,
get this
exactly,
bro.
bro,
juicy
unless they
stuff.
watch all the way to the end. Yo, that's good, bro. That's a good way to fucking do it,
Yeah.
bro. I like that. I like that.
Oh, yeah, and another good
Yo,
juicy thing we can
so
do
long
is
story short,
what's
man.
the craziest thing you've seen in Haiti? But tell us after this one.
Yeah.
If you guys want to see something crazy,
Or just
All
the
right.
craziest thing in general.
the craziest thing in general, you're gonna have to wait till the end of the pod, and you're
Craziest
gonna
thing in
hear
general.
the most craziest shit
Yeah.
you've ever
Buckle up.
heard. Buckle your
All right.
seatbelts.
Right there, as you said that, there's two stories that stick out to me that I will tell. Okay, there's two stories that we'll
Yes, the
revisit.
juicy stuff. Come on, baby.
Fuck, bro. So, yeah, man. A few months ago, bro, back in March, I get this. There's this organization, bro, that they were running in Thailand for a long time, and so there's this concept where they're having prisoners fight for their freedom, bro.
What? So they fight. So they're prisoners. They're locked up, and they fight. And if they win, they
Yeah,
what?
Some
Get a jail free pass.
they get pardoned.
Oh, what?
Yeah, they get free
What
pass. They
country is
get
like
this?
some
pardoned, bro.
gladiator
Murderers.
Oh, wait,
type.
what
Yeah,
country is this?
this is Thailand, bro. Thailand.
Oh, so does the king pardon them or something?
Yes, bro. The king of Thailand, King Rama, he was pardoning them. Yep. Right before he died, bro.
Holy hell!
Budimbola Duyadesh, bro. That guy. Yeah. Um. So this
That's crazy.
concept, man. If you look it up, you can YouTube it. It's fucking all over Vice. It's all over. Showtime did a few series on it. But it's called Prison Fight, and so they had this whole concept, right, where they would bring in international pro fighters and fight these prisoners for their freedom or lesser sentences, etc. And during COVID, they closed down. Long story short, a few months ago, bro, like I get a message on Instagram from the fucking account, from the Prison Fight account, and they're like, "Hey, like, can we have your Telegram contact? We have a proposal, bro."
There we
And I
go.
was like, "What?" And so I'm looking, yeah, and I give him my Telegram, bro, and I get on the phone, and it's this fucking dude from Estonia, bro, like up there in
Yeah.
near Finland and Russia and shit. And so he's talking to me with this heavy ass accent, and he starts telling me about what's been going on, and you know, they had to close during COVID, etc. But he starts telling me, bro, more or less that I stuck out to him, and that he found my profile through the like the fighting realm, but I stuck out to him among the fighting realm because of my videos in Haiti, because of what I was posting about the work I was doing out there. And he told me verbatim, he's like, if you can handle Haiti, I know you can handle the places we go. That's why I'm asking you. And so essentially, bro, like, can't give away too many details, but you know, they've contacted me to go to these third world countries, bro, to go and live with these prisoners and teach them fighting and beat them up badly and be like a sparring partner and get them ready to fight in these tournaments for their freedom, bro. And it's like all gonna be
Whoa.
Holy
documented.
hell.
And so I
Yo,
can't tell
oi,
you
oi,
like,
that's crazy because you
yeah, bro,
belong
like I
in
can't
jail
tell you
too,
like,
bro. No.
that's what I'm saying, bro. I know. I know. Bro, with the way my life went, statistically speaking, though, you're not wrong. Like, the data does show like 76% of us end up
Yeah.
incarcerated. That's what the data in America shows. So you're right. You know, like,
And then, but you're going to jail for the right reasons, brother.
for the right reasons, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, bro, to rehabilitate you guys, bro. Real,
Oi, that's actually inspirational. That's wicked. That's like that could also I suppose you're helping people out, but that's going to be good publicity for yourself
yes,
too.
bro.
That's like Joe Rogan on Fear Factor. You know, like, bro, if you can do something like that,
Yeah.
imagine what your what's next. Like, I'm always thinking what's next? What's next? Like,
Mm.
bro, for sky's the limit, my G.
Yeah, what's next after that? How
Yeah,
could
yeah.
Yeah, hit
You're
us with your
right,
next
bro.
story too.
You're
The
Yeah,
right,
second one,
dog.
and then yeah,
intrigued.
what's your
Huh?
second one? What's the most craziest thing you've ever seen? You've ever
All right.
witnessed?
So we got two, bro. We got two. We'll start with the lighter one first. So when I was in fucking Bangkok, and I told you I would go by this Mercy Center, you know, and it's this orphanage, man, in the center of Bangkok in this hood. So they get the worst of the worst out there. And so I'm hanging around with the fucking priest, and we're talking, and this little girl comes up to me, man. She's probably like 9, 10 years old, and she's speaking normal English, and just like this happy little girl, and she's like eating a popsicle, sits down next to me, like pounds my little fist, swinging her little feet. I'm like, oh, that's a cute little girl, you know? Like, so she's talking to me normally, and then she like gets up and runs off and goes plays with the other kids. And the priest looked at me. He's like, you know that little girl just next to you? And I was like, yeah. And he's like, we found her being raised by dogs under a
What?
stairwell in Bangkok.
What?
No
Bro,
way.
hand to God, bro. Hand to God, bro. He told me that. He said that literally they found packs of like a pack of dogs bringing her back like food and like fucking like bottles with like liquid
Wow.
left in them so that she could like live among them, bro. Like literally a girl found being raised by fucking soy dogs, by a pack of street dogs in Bangkok. And they found her when she was like fucking like 4 or 5 years old or some shit like that. And what happens out there is that the Thailand like prostitutes, I hate to say it like this, but it's all over the country. And so a lot of the times the prostitutes, when they have children sometimes and they need to go work, I've seen it multiple times myself, bro. They put them on a fucking piece of cardboard on the side of the sidewalk or on the side of the road, and they'll just leave. And they come back whatever amount of hours later after they go and do their thing. And so when he told me that, two and two connected, and I was like, holy shit. Like, things like this really fucking happen here.
Wow.
Far out.
That's a story we gotta get.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Oi, do you still have her as a contact? She's coming on the
Damn.
show next.
Bro, honestly, dude, honestly, I gotta get you plugged in with the Mercy Center. Next time I go to Bangkok, I'm gonna go get all their contacts because, dude, there's cool people in and out of there. Like, I met this other girl, man, this islander. She looked Thai, but she looked like indigenous Thai. Like, it was strange. I'd never seen those features before. And this girl was in her 20s, and she comes and talks to me. She's like sitting down next to me. She's like very educated and articulate and had a college degree. And she told me she was from the Moken people. And if you go and look this up, the Moken tribe, Moken is how you spell it. They're a group of indigenous sea gypsies, and they live in the ocean, bro, between the waters of Thailand and Myanmar, and nobody claims them because they don't stay in a land territory, so they aren't protected by any government, and they literally live in these boats, like they're water voyagers, they're sea gypsies, and they just float from place to place. And this girl that I had met there, she was one of the people from their tribe, and like the Mercy Center adopted her when she was a toddler because they couldn't afford to feed her. And so she was raised by the Mercy Center and went and got her degree, and now she's an advocate for her
Wow.
tribe. And she goes back and works with the Moken people through the Mercy Center. And so stories like that, man, would be incredible for your
Oh, yeah.
podcast.
Yeah, bro.
That's insane.
100%. Oh, we just it'd be cool because
Yeah.
obviously I live in a first world country and I don't really know too many third world country
Yeah.
people. So a lot
Yeah.
of the guests I would get on experiencing their adversity would be from a first world background. So it'd be crazy to get some third
Oh,
world. That's like
the experiences are just like for
that's like
someone in the first world, you're just like, I can't even believe that exists.
Right?
yeah.
Like, man.
All right, so this brings me to my next one, bro. Haiti, man. This is the fucking banger, bro. Like, hands down, full transparency. Till this day, I still get PTSD flashbacks, like where I'll be woken up mid fucking night and I just see this image in my head. Like it's something that has stayed with me. So I'm not gonna like I will tell this story with laughs and smiles, but like in all seriousness,
Yeah.
these things have an impact on people's health.
Yeah.
And so long story short, bro, 2019, there's a civil uprising. Haiti's fucking in flames. Port-au-Prince is like lit the fuck up. They're trying to overthrow the prime minister over deep systemic corruption and oppression for the people. Completely understandable.
Mm.
Now, where I fucked up is I listened to my contact there and I thought it was okay to go so soon after all this civil uprising had occurred. And so if the civil uprising was at a peak, probably 2 weeks after the peak, when it was still kind of dying down but going on throughout the country, is when I flew in. And so my contacts there, they pick me up at the airport and they escort me via ambulance to the other side of the country, which is where the program is, where I teach all those kids boxing. And so Port-au-Prince is the capital you have to fly into, and it's like a 2-hour trip across the island to get to the town we're at, where I'm teaching the kids. And so 2019 comes, they pick me up in the ambulance as I'm exiting the airport, and immediately I just can see the unrest. There's fucking people moving everywhere, man, like ants, and it's just chaos.
Wow.
And we're going, and it's kind of dim. The sun is setting, and we're fucking going, and the lights and sirens are going pew pew pew, and we come around a corner, man, and we go left, and there's like this. There's like it's just like a turn around the road, so you can't really see what's on the other side when you're coming around this leftward bend. And we're coming around a leftward bend, and there's a firewall. And it's just these black rubber tires in a line, probably like a 20-foot line. There's a firewall of smoldering tires, and there's these fucking two Haitian guys, and they had what looked like AK-47 style rifles, but it was like older military issue. Like they didn't look like a AR-15 you would buy in Florida right now. They looked like a fucking AK-47 you would get in like Vietnam or
Yeah.
some shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like they look old. And so these Haitians had these fucking like machine guns, and I'm like looking at the two dudes in the firewall at first, and my eyes noticed this black thing in pieces on the ground. And like at first I thought it was trash, and like my mind was registering it because I'm a paramedic. I've seen a lot of deceased people and corpses, but I think it like just took it a while for like the imagery to settle into my head, and I look, bro, and there's a dismembered body like across the fucking smoldering tires, bro. Like legs here, torso here, head here, arms here, like completely dismembered, and we're probably like 40, 50 feet away from it. And I'm just like staring at this shit, and the lights and sirens are going. And we hit this firewall, and there's the Haitian dudes looking at us with their machine guns, and this dismembered body, and it's lights and sirens, and they just reverse and came back out and went right, and we just kept going like as if nothing happened. They never brought it up again or nothing. And I remember like walking in there, and I'm like fucking like this image is locked in my mind, and I'm like, oh, this is what I signed up to do.
Yeah.
Like I came to a fucking war zone to
Yeah.
try to
So
help people.
early
You
into
know
the
what I
trip
mean?
too,
Like,
like
Yeah.
just leaving the airport and that's what you see.
yes, bro. That was like 20, 30 minutes into leaving, bro.
Oh.
And that's when I was like, oh, fuck. Like, bro, Port-au-Prince, hands down the like most savage, brutal city I've ever been to, bro. It's like fucking Rwanda out there.
Damn.
Wait, because I've heard of Haiti on the news, like, but to actually be there and experience it
Oh.
for yourself, that's like next level. Man, you obviously would have
Oh,
PTSD from that.
Mm.
Um, did
oh yeah, bro.
like
It wouldn't always be like that though, eh? It was just that
No, it's
specific
not
time
always
you were
like
there?
that. It's seasonal.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's seasonal. Like
Seasonal.
right now, it's like that, but
Right now it's like that, but in another year it'll
Yeah.
probably be back to it.
yeah,
Does
yeah,
like
bro.
so
And
do they get government support? I mean, the government's corrupt, but like from America or like, you know, other first world
Wycliffe Jean.
other first world countries.
politics of Haiti are fucked, bro. They're fucked from the legitimate like 15, 1600s. I mean, I don't know how far back the country's history goes, but as far back as when it became a country, because what happened is that what it was Haiti was a fucking territory of France back in the day. And that
Mm.
is where they would use their slaves to create goods for France. So they would use the plantations for the sugar cane and the banana and all that shit. And so they had all these slaves working, and the Haitian slaves fought for their independence. But when they fought for their independence, they killed a bunch of French and took a bunch of their war materials. So what happened was the French left, right? And they said, okay, you can have your country. You guys are your own people, your own nation. But then what happened was the country of France then imparted some type of debt oriented contract in the losses that were incurred from losing slaves and losing materials in the battle.
Yep.
So they locked Haiti into a debt contract where Haiti was forced to pay all the country's resources to France until this debt was fulfilled. And
Wow.
what that created was an indefinite deficit of funds and resources for the Haitian economy. So they've literally just been giving money away to France
Mm.
until I don't know what year. Like, and so that was like the beginning of the country's origin, right? And then you start getting into countries like America doing their involvement with whatever political moves they have there. And then I don't know if you saw, but it must have been a year or 2 years ago, they fucking had the prime minister assassinated in Haiti in his own house. And
What?
bro, check this out. They caught the fucking assassins in the country, and it was like 10 Colombian special forces guys. How the
What?
fuck are 10 Colombian special forces guys? Yeah, bro, hand to God. You can read all this in the newspaper. How are 10 special forces guys from Colombia sent on a hit to go kill the Haitian prime minister? You're not going to tell me that was funded by a country in South
Mm.
America or in the Caribbean, bro.
Yeah.
That screams fucking Western world, first world
Yeah.
nation funding all day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, which one did it?
Mm.
Who the fuck knows?
Either
Right?
Yeah.
But
France or
like,
America,
it
I would
just,
say.
that's what I'm
My money's
saying,
on
bro. There's
America.
a lot of people with their hand in the jar. So like when things like that happen, it's pretty clear that that there's that there is malignant foul play that is invisible that's going on
Mm.
in that country space. You get what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, because New Caledonia's going through it at the moment.
Mm.
Their
Yeah.
indigenous population's trying to like they want rights,
Independence.
independence in their own country, and the French are like trying to, because it's a French colony as well. They're trying to hold on
Uh,
to its territory. But if they don't, they're probably going to do the same thing they did in Haiti and give them their country with a debt
Yeah.
contract.
Yep.
Do you know what I mean? And I'm like, oh,
exactly.
it's not good. Yeah. Bro, thank you so much for coming on the show. It's sharing your story.
Bro, this was incredible. Yeah, bro, this is incredible. Loved it. Loved it.
I've enjoyed having you on, my bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, bro, this has been incredible, bro. This has been like such a good experience. I'm fucking elated at how much fun I had, bro. I feel like I was just hanging out with the fucking home.
I've been wanting to have you on the show for ages too, but this is a slow moving puzzle, you know? And it's a
Yeah.
one man or two man army.
1.5.
Yeah. So like uh,
Yeah.
so we're working, we got a lot of things happening, but it's slowly ticking along, and I'm glad we finally made the time for you to come on and experience and share your story,
Yeah.
because
Very inspirational, I must say. Like, yeah.
yeah, and it's going to help a lot of
Thank
people
you, bro.
in first world countries and third world countries, but just to cast a different perspective on what the definition of hard is. Do you know what I mean?
Yep.
Yeah,
Like
absolutely, bro.
other people probably about, man, I got it
Mm.
hard, and you know,
Yeah.
like
Perspective,
just
eh?
like if you can, that's one thing I've learned. Life is all about perspective. Like you can be in the shittest situation, you know, like some of these people in the third world countries who are starving every day. Like you go to these countries and the
Mhm.
kids have got the biggest smiles on their face. And then you come to Australia and there's some kid stuck in their dark room playing Xbox and they don't have any of these problems and they're depressed.
Yeah.
And it's
Anxiety,
like,
depression.
Yep.
yeah, it got all these different things. It's like life's all about perspective, you know?
Mhm.
So I'm very
It
grateful
really
for you
is.
coming onto the show and casting that to the world and showing that. Yeah. Do you know?
Yeah, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, bro. It was incredible. Loved it.
So yeah, bro, I just wanted to thank you and
Can't wait for part 2 when you come to Australia.
yeah.
Well, I was gonna say, yeah, bro. We should do a part 2 sometime when I visit you guys in Goldie, bro, in person.
Oh
That'd
yeah,
be
Yeah.
I
cool.
would actually love to do a part 2 in person. Like, oh, for all the podcasts we do
Mm.
online, it's
Yep.
interesting because we have guests in Australia, but like I find international guests can be like they bring a different perspective.
Oh, yeah.
So like, but when you have to do it online, but we can make it work. But when you come here, you can stay at the Beckett Hotel. I've got a room for you, bro. I got a room for
Room
you.
or
And
room
Hell
or 3.
yeah.
yeah, yeah, I got a room for you and your missus.
Oh, that's sick,
It's like
bro.
a little
That's sick.
resort here, brother. I got a pool. We got a Muay Thai gym out the back too. You can coach me.
Yeah,
I,
that's true. You got the Kahika Den.
yeah, Kahika Den Muay Thai, bro.
Yeah, buddy.
Oh, it'd be wicked, bro.
Fuck
It'll be
yeah.
something special, you know.
Yeah, bro. We'll do it, bro. It'll be sick, bro.
Yes.
Hell yeah.
I'm
Yeah,
get.
bro. I want to see Goldie, bro. I'll keep you guys posted for sure when I can make it out there. We'll make it happen.
It's a little bit better than Haiti, I will say that.
Yeah, it's way better than 80, dude. I love that place.
Oh, you wait till I show you the ghetto, bro. You wait till I show you the tweed hood. Nah,
Yeah,
I'm
Logan, take him up to
yeah, well,
Logan.
you wait till I show you Logan, bro. There's stabbings daily, home invasions too with machetes, you name it. Yeah, stolen cars. Well, that's
oh,
wicked, bro.
fuck, bro.
We have some exciting things coming, like I mentioned at the start of the podcast. So, you know,
Hmm.
merchandise, make sure to check that stuff out. We've got um other little secret things coming. We got some other guests coming on the show too. And we take donations as well.
Yeah.
So you can donate. It might help us start up a Patreon. We're working on a lot of things in the background. So, you know, we will in the multi terminology, it's do the mahi, get the treats, which means do the work, get the treats, you know. So
Yeah.
we're doing the mahi, we're
Hell
putting it
yeah.
in. So you guys get the
Yeah.
treats. So stay tuned for that one. And make sure you check out our merch when it launches. You'll see it on our Instagram. There is our affiliate sponsor. Another quick shout out to My Heritage. If you want to get your DNA done,
Mm.
it's an incredible thing to find out who you are and where you come from. And yeah, I would definitely recommend doing it for yourself. It provides identity, I suppose, and gives you a sense of purpose as well. And
Mm.
and in a day and age
100.
when everyone's like, man, like, I don't know who I am. I don't know where I come from. And they're craving something. It's like,
Mm.
just go back to your land, talk to some elders, figure out what the goal is. You
Mm.
know, I'm sure they'll be able to help you out and provide some type of direction.
Yep.
Um, Even if you're not from an indigenous culture, just knowing where you're from. I'm Viking. I love Vikings. I love the show Vikings too. So, like, yeah, it's incredible. But yeah, thanks for watching
Yeah.
and appreciate
Appreciate
y'all.
it.
And Kamani, you want to say goodbye, my friends?
Yeah, man. Yo, I had an incredible time. Really excited for what you guys got coming down the pipeline, bro. I see this podcast for sure growing. Definitely, man. You guys are consistent. You guys are good hosts. Loved it. Make sure to keep up with me on Instagram at Kamanu Thai. That's where I'll be posting most of my stuff. So stay tuned.
Yes, yes. Make sure everyone give him a follow. Kamanu Thai, one word. You can search it up.
Yeah.
So you don't have a
Yeah.
YouTube channel yet?
Yeah, I just got Instagram right now, but it's funny you mentioned that. I'm gonna be working on a YouTube channel here soon because
Yes.
I had someone ask me if I could upload all like the fight highlight reels that I create up until like a YouTube channel, and I was like, that's probably a good idea. So I'm probably gonna start doing that.
Yes, yes. Oh, yeah, I'm all for collaborations too. If if you crack it, I'm coming with you.
Yeah,
If I crack it, I'll take you with me.
yeah, amen, bro. Bro, honestly, I would love to do a prison fight update on part two
Oh,
on this. That
yes.
shit would be crazy,
Wait, and
bro.
you know what would be cool on that?
You know what I
If
mean?
we do that, I'm gonna like insert clips of the actual footage into our pod. So it'll be like a documentary
Yes.
in the podcast. So hang
Mm,
on for that,
yeah.
baby.
Fuck yeah. Let's do it.
Yeah, appreciate it. Anyway, so we're going to wrap up the show now, but we appreciate you all for watching. Please remember, if you like the video, please remember to like, subscribe, and ring that bell. 'Cause that's how we get paid, baby. And we appreciate all your love and support, and we thank you guys for tuning in. And you can't stop the waves, but you can learn to surf.
Yeah.
Ah,
See you later,
hey, I
Fano.
love it.